Welcome to episode 2 of our Goldfields Astro Getaway, as Paul Cooper and I spend a week exploring the Goldfields region of Western Australia, looking for nightscape opportunities along the way. Make sure you watch the first episode, an amazing night of astro at Lake Campion Nature Reserve. In this episode, we travel to Kalgoorlie, some 600 kilometres east of Perth, Western Australia. Kalgoorlie is a town forged on the back of a gold rush during the 1890s. Today, Kalgoorlie is a living museum where much of the rich history remains. Grand heritage buildings and historic pubs such as the York Hotel, the Exchange Hotel, still stand along the streets built wide enough to turn a camel train. One of the town's most remarkable sites is the Fimiston Open Pit, or what is locally known as the Super Pit, an open-cut gold mine swallowing many of the original mining leases along an area known as the Golden Mile. The Super Pit stretches nearly 3.5 kilometres in length, or 1.5 kilometres in width, and is more than 600 metres deep. Huge haul-pack trucks resemble tiny toys as they slowly bring up the ore along winding haul roads. Approximately 15 million tonnes of ore is moved each year, yielding over 400,000 ounces of gold. The Golden Mile has yielded approximately 60 million ounces of gold since the first strike by prospector Paddy Hannon in the 1890s. All that said, the prospects of successfully capturing a nightscape image at the Super Pit were low due to light pollution and orientation. So we decided to recce another Kalgoorlie institution on the outskirts of town. So this is one of the institutions of Kalgoorlie, the Kalgoorlie Two Up school. And I'm currently facing southeast, so this is perfect alignment for the rising Milky Way. There's quite a few trees here, but the Milky Way core aligns quite nicely right over the top. You can see the old corrugated iron buildings here. We can go inside. Two Up is a distinctly Aussie gambling game which became legendary during World War I. The rules are very simple. 2 coins are placed tails up on a piece of wood known as the kip. Players stand outside the ring and make side bets on how the coins will fall. The spinner tosses the coins in the air. 2 heads and the spinner wins. 2 tails, the spinner loses. 1 of each and the spinner throws again. So there'll be a bit too much action here tonight, and as you can see, lots of cloud. So I don't think we're going to be doing too much astro tonight, but we're hoping for some clearer skies tomorrow night, and I think the place will be empty then. We're still in Kalgoorlie. It's the next day to some of the intro stuff I was shooting before. We've just driven past the mining museum, I think it is. And there's some interesting old mining head frames and so forth here, which align quite nicely. This one behind me, you can just see here, the Milky Way. We could easily get some alignment with the Milky Way behind that. There's some other ones a little bit further up, which we might just wander up and get some footage of. Can't get actually inside here at night, but we can certainly shoot from outside the gate. And as you can see behind me, we've got beautiful clear skies at the moment. We'll see whether that lasts for the evening. It is forecast too. Anyway, we will continue our exploring. We're going to head out towards a place called Ora Banda, which is another deserted mining town. I think there's still a few people living there. And we'll continue our recce and hopefully find some good stuff to shoot tonight. A short drive north of Kalgoorlie is the Ora Banda Inn, built in 1911. It has had a checkered past, ranging from bikie shootings and, as we were to find out, suspicious fires. Okay, this is the Ora Banda Inn, which we thought was still operational, but it appears to be anything but operational at the moment. I was here many, many years ago, and it was very much a very quirky little place. But yeah, now it appears to be in ruins. So possibly a shot, but unfortunately it's very boarded up and a big construction type fence around it. So I don't think it's going to make a particularly good shot, unfortunately. So that's a little bit of a disappointment for us. We thought that this might have been something we could shoot, but don't really think it's going to be worth travelling back here. Anyway, we'll keep hunting and see what else we can find. Just outside Ora Banda, exploring some of the old areas where the prospectors used to explore. You've got to be quite careful wandering around in the bush out here, because the place is riddled with holes in the ground, old mine workings. Very easy to fall down. Certainly not probably a particularly safe place to be wandering around at night. Okay, my favourite pastime, throwing rocks down old mine shafts. This one's actually quite deep. Don't know if you'll be able to hear it when it thumps at the bottom. Don't know how far that is, but it's a long way. What do you reckon, Paul? Is this worth it for a few bucks?
No. I'll stick with my day job.
Yeah, me too.
That was a bit deep.
Too deep. Too deep to bounce.
Yeah. But the whole concept of just coming in and out of somewhere like this all day long, it's crazy.
Yeah. Spend all day down there pulling dirt out of the ground.
Yep.
So after a day of exploring, we decided the Two Up shed was the best bet, excuse the pun, for the evening shoot. Right, so we've just arrived after a day of exploring around Kalgoorlie, back at the Two Up shed. Definitely deserted, which is a good sign. And just going to go and have a look inside. Okay, that's good. We've got the place all to ourselves. We're a bit worried that there may be people hanging around, but there's not. So what the plan is to, for our first shot, is to set up a camera inside the Two Up school, because you can see it's a nice circular structure, and it's got a beautiful circular hole in the roof. So what I want to do is hopefully shoot some star trails from inside here. So I'm going to, I'll stick up on the screen photo pills of the where the South Celestial Pole is aligned. Hopefully that we can make that work. There is a tree right in the way, but hopefully that shouldn't matter too much. And I'll start off with the 10mm lens and see how that looks, because I think I'm going to need something that wide to really get the full effect. And also I want to use the 20 and the 35 for the shots I'm planning on doing from the outside. Okay, so I will get that set up now, and we can have a look at what it looks like. Okay, so I've got the Nikon Z6 setup here with the Laowa 10mm, beautiful wide angle. I love the effect here because we've got the circular shape of the Two Up school, and I'm pointing due south towards the South Celestial Pole, so I should get circular star trails above. I've set up a little bit of cross lighting. Not sure if you can see that in the background or not. I'm just going to use that for the foreground shots, and then I'm going to turn those off once I'm happy with my foregrounds, because just across the other side here, Paul's also set up, so I don't want to be messing up his shot. And he's actually shooting, his idea is to capture the rising Milky Way as a time lapse, which will look amazing as well. So with any luck, he'll share that with us as well. The settings I'm going to use, so I'm going to go with 30-second exposures, probably ISO 1600 and f2.8, which is wide open for this lens. The only negative I can see at the moment is because we're shooting due south, that's straight back towards the Kalgoorlie town site. So I am getting a bit of light pollution coming from that direction, but I'm just going to have to live with that. I can definitely see the stars reasonably bright at altitude, so hopefully it should be still an effective shot. So I'll get my foregrounds done, get the time lapse kicked off, and from there I'm going to move outside and set up ready for capturing the rising Milky Way over the top of the Two Up shed. So should be a couple of great little shots. Okay, we'll speak again soon. Okay, I'm just going to set up outside now. I've just moved away a little bit into a clearer spot, so I'm going to set the tracker up here and just do a very small little pano. I'm going to try the 85mm for something a little bit different. Row off Uchi's just starting to rise now, so I'm going to capture that with on the track shot. And once I'm done with that, we'll give the Milky Way core another hour or so to rise, probably around between 8:30 and 9 p.m. Should be have it in a good position, and then I'll use the 35mm just to capture not a full pano, but maybe just 4 or 5 shots wide. And that should give us a few options for using the Two Up shed building as a foreground. Okay, I'll get into that now. Right, so we've started on our shooting the foregrounds from the outside after finishing some track shots. You can see the Two Up school there in the background maybe. I've got the 35mm. I've done a little pano for the foreground, just 5 shots, which will match my 5 track shots of the sky. I ended up doing some light painting as well, just to bring it out. So I've done the 5 base shots. I was shooting that at 60 seconds, ISO 800, f 2.2. And then with my light painting, I was just doing little 10-second blasts at f5.6, ISO 800. So I'll blend the light painted shots in each of the frames and then stitch them together. So hopefully that should look quite good. That'll just about be it for this location. There is a little band of cloud coming through, we can see in the distance on the horizon. So hopefully we can finish all of our sky shots before that comes through. All right, I better get going. Right, well that was a little bit of a bummer. No sooner did we start tracking than a big band of cloud has rolled through. So I've managed to do a track pano with a 35 sort of, but I suspect there was a little bit too much cloud. I'm going to have all sorts of trouble stitching that, unfortunately. Anyway, it's been a awesome fun evening. Hopefully the star trails on the inside of the Two Up school have turned out okay, and yeah, onwards and upwards. Okay, see you on the next one.